Hello everyone, welcome to the 4th Art Saturday video op. This month's theme is to design and create a stamp, and I have had a stamp I wanted to create for a while. I guess I was telling you to make sure to check the description box down below because that is where you will find the links to all of the other hoppers. I've cut several stamps. Those are cut out of dollar store erasers. And these are made out of what is like a meat tray, a foam tray. We get vegetables on them sometimes, and I definitely save them. I really like the foam tray for my jelly plate. Works wonderful to make stamps out of that for the jelly plate. So I'm going to actually carve two stamps that are very similar today. One out of a Dollar Tree eraser and one out of the foam tray. The tray has that edge on it. Oh, I'm also going to use a Sharpie, a ballpoint pen, and my stamp carving tools. Those are also block carving tools. I have two handles because I like to keep two tips. And I needed my X-Acto knife to cut the edge off of my foam tray. Now, it rolls up a little bit, real close to the edge, and you want to make sure to get that rolled up part off of there, because if you don't, it won't lay flat on your jelly plate. And I'm going to bring you in here, and I have the ballpoint pen, and you really want a ballpoint pen like a big pen. I just am drawing and pressing into that foam tray with the pen, creating these little boxes or blocks. Now, I could have pushed around it and all that. I just want the simple design for my jelly plate. And later, when you see the design that I'm going to do for the rubber stamp, they coordinate. They're not exactly the same, and I didn't want them exactly the same, but they go together to make similar layers. And I didn't want this to be huge. I like to just kind of stamp randomly on my jelly plate. Now, these foam stamps do not stamp great with a rubber stamp pad. The ink just doesn't ink them up as great as it does for the jelly plate. If you're using it on the jelly plate, they seem to work real well. But I did find that if I used the little ink pad and rubbed across the surface of the stamp, that it worked pretty well. Well enough for me to show you what it was. That's all that I really wanted, was to show you the design. So now we're going to get ready and we're going to carve our rubber eraser. And they're probably polymer erasers is what they are. They're white, they're very soft, and they're about 1/4 inch thick. They're great for carving rubber stamps out of. The nice thing about these are that you can usually find them in different shapes. The round ones I showed you earlier were actually shaped like that. I bought them. They were like a donut or something like that. They just were nice and round. This one happens to be square and it's big. So now I'm just using a Sharpie marker or alcohol-based marker, and I'm just drawing these little boxes on here. And I colored a couple in because I'm actually going to leave the whole box and cut around it. I decided I really didn't want it square. I just wanted a few lines of the design. So I just cut the extra part of the eraser off because that's another rubber stamp I can make out of that one. And then I like to go around all of my shapes before I start trying to carve out the valleys in between the shapes. So I am just sort of going up the right-hand side of my shapes. I usually keep my tool to the right of my mark. That's a lot of ums. if you watch, I'll spin there we go. I spin the stamp so that I can keep my tool to the right of my mark. And I am just doing sort of an outline right now. The more I outline, the less likely I am to cut into my places that I don't want to cut out. And I tend to use the same tool quite a bit. I don't use a lot of the blades. I tend to use this one medium type shaped V blade. And once in a while, though, I want the little tiny one. And I happened across an extra handle and went ahead and picked it up because it means I don't have to switch my blades out to have multiple sizes. And I have sped this video up. I guess I could have cut more of it out, but I thought you might want to see sort of the different steps it takes. But I promise you, it was not, this stamp was not carved in 15 minutes. It took a little bit. Now I'm using my X-Acto knife because I have found that if you don't take the edge, the corner off of any stamp like this, it will show up when you start stamping it. So I'm just sort of taking the edge off of the whole piece of rubber. And where the corners weren't rounded, I sort of cut them off a little bit. It's just easier to do with the X-Acto blade than it is with the carving tool. Also, you'll find if you watch carefully that I tend to use that V-shaped blade in different ways. Sometimes I almost lay it down on its side, meaning it gives me an extra bite in the path. That only works when you're carving out bigger areas and not likely to come up and chop up your little design. The other thing about this design is it doesn't need to be perfect. I want it to be reasonably clean and not have a lot of little bits hanging out in the valleys, but as far as the shape of the little boxes, they don't matter that much. They're just going to be little boxes. I like the idea that the one for the jelly plate has an outline and this one will be a solid wall box, because there again, I wanted them to complement each other, not just be exactly the same. Okay, so now once you get it carved and you think you're doing pretty well, you want to stamp it. And the first time you stamp any stamp, it doesn't stamp real well, which is fine because I am just stamping it out so that I can see where I need to clean it up. And it's really more about the ink that is left on the stamp rather than the ink on the paper. And so I just am going to go back in, and wherever there's little black areas in the stamp, I'll try to get those with my knife so that they're gone. Those are more raised areas that the stamp pad is getting down to. We're getting there, guys. As I said, this is sort of sped up. And I'm going to tell you that I stamped it and I cleaned it up. And there's a spot that I totally missed. Totally missed. I'll show it to you here in a minute. anyways, I'm cleaning up the little bits. So here I am, just trying to make sure that I've got the little bits out, and we'll stamp it again here in a minute. In the meantime, let me remind you that down in the description box below, there is a hop list, and if you follow the first link in the hop list, you will come to the next video, and each person's description box should have that first link to the next video, and by following that top link, you'll end up seeing all the hoppers and come right back around here to me. Now, there's a spot. I told you, see there, right there between those two boxes, somehow I missed it. So I went back in and cleaned it up. And you always find a little bit more each time you do this. Another thing is, I am not going to be worrying about the exactness of a stamp. This is sort of a background piece, just another element in what I will use, and therefore it doesn't have to be perfect, even if it didn't stamp perfect. Now, like I said, every time you use a stamp, the better it gets. So I'm sure I'm going to like this a lot. And I probably won't even push down the whole thing all the time. I'll probably hold it in my hand and just like push the top half of it down, or stamp 2 or 3 times with it, just so that it leaves an impression. Just like that. I never even laid the whole piece down. But I really think it'll be interesting to have the elements of the foam stamp underneath on the jelly print, with then the other stamp over the top of it. So I'm really pleased with these stamps today, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have fun hopping onto the other hoppers. Please make sure to leave a like and a comment on the other videos, other hoppers. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel or theirs, please do subscribe to the channels. Um, I hope this is enjoyable and you have fun today. Now, please go have fun and make some art. Bye-bye.